morning, our wonderful people. We are so sorry to be tardy, 2 minutes tardy. So, welcome to the program. As usual, help us to share, like, subscribe, all those things that we have to do for our people to get this information. I am overly excited. You can see that we have a guest on the screen.
Yes,
My
yes.
brother is here, our tenacious, persistent, consistent brother is here with us. He's the lecturer of the year, if you ask me. So get
Yep.
ready, get your pen, get your notebooks, and get ready to learn. Especially I'm putting out, our brothers and sisters, mainly our brothers. This is the kind of things that we want you guys to be doing. Go and read and learn about what's going on, so we can use this our education to do some, mass education and teach our people what they need to know. So let me stop running my mouth. Help us to share as usual. My name is Mona Chimsag and I'm here in Houston, Texas. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my sister. Yeah, we're excited. It's amazing. And this is what we tell our men. We don't have problem with you leading, but we want you to be in charge. We want you to be responsible and be in charge. Me, I want to be a lady and just be doing my thing behind and following you. I don't have problem with that at all.
Me too. Me
But the
too.
only time I will step in front of you is if my children are involved and you're not doing what you're supposed to do. I'll remove my cap of womanhood, take up another cap, and go in front to save my children. So please, let's not get it twisted. Nobody is trying to take your position. You are the head. It will involve responsibility. Know what you should know and step in front and start leading. Then we move. We don't want to move. So we're excited with bringing our brother to you. This our brother, our show, he does not miss it. He will be on time. If we are running late, he's sitting waiting. He will follow. People will see the difference now. Let me know. So my name is Ekwi. I'm just so excited. My name is Ekwi, and we live in Lexington. I live in Lexington, Kentucky. Thank you. Continue to help us to share. We'll play a video, why we're sharing, so that we will not just keep quiet as it's going. My sister is going to pull up the video. This is what our people want. Thank you.
Yes, yet another interpretation of things you are seeing, which you need to understand, because they will come to haunt you in no time at all. There is a recent addition to the conditions the APC had placed on the pathway of their aspirants for who will become their candidate. That condition is that all aspirants on their platform, on the APC platform, will have to commit to preserving the 1999 Constitution if they manage to become candidate and win election. As innocuous as it may sound to you, because we all know that whoever wins the election will swear to defend and uphold the atrocious 1999 Constitution. But because of what Ninas has done, because of the onslaught against that Constitution by those who are choking under it, because of the determined push to take down that Constitution and end the unitary union anchored on it and go to transition, the proprietors of Nigeria, who also happen to be the proprietors of APC of now, are now trying to make assurance that that constitution will not suffer if we go to this election, because there's this, convergence of demand against that constitution. The first big success of the Ninas Alliance is that a strong consensus has been built against the constitution that make the indigenous nationalities slaves in their land. The Ijaw wants the constitution down. The Yoruba wants the constitution out. The Middle Belt wants the constitution defeated and removed. All of us, the owners of the lands that the world calls Nigeria, and the assets in the lands, those who have been choking from the unitary impositions of the caliphate against all by way of that constitution, which came through decree number 24 of 1999. And so where we are now is that the apprehension has come to the point where the APC has put a condition that people must say to them in private, must commit, must covenant with them that constitution will not be touched if they become president. If we take it further, we'll then see that all this talk about consensus, they can't even get to primaries. They don't know how to get to election because the owners of the land say they don't want election. So they're eroding everybody, and they really don't know what to expect. And so we have to build on our successes of having delegitimized that constitution successfully. That constitution is dead. All the people who are hanging on it, all the things built on it, all the institutions built on it, including the claim that we submitted as sovereignty that is in the preamble, all of them are going down. That claim is going down. The second claim that we wrote the constitution is going down. The 36 states that they were indiscriminately created, and the 704 local government areas carved out to suck revenue to people who bring nothing to the table. All of those things are going down. The 68 items of exclusive list that seize the assets of the owners of the land, the oil and gas of Niger Delta, the ports of Lagos, the bitumen of Ondo, the limestone of Benue, all of the right to even generate electricity, which is now confiscated by that exclusive list, the right to elect who will govern us, all those things are going down with that constitution. And so those who are heading to that election with the people inviting them, let it be made clear that it is a contestation between our sovereign retrieval of our sovereignty. Look at the map you see behind. Those who are holding us hostage in our ancestral lands, holding us in bondage via that constitution, are the ones dragging you to go to election to renew the life of that constitution, which is why the forces of heaven has also opened their mouth to tell everybody that is their paramount concern, that constitution must be saved. APC says their candidate must, the aspirant that will become candidate must covenant, must swear to them that he will not touch that constitution when he gets there, if he becomes president. I'm sure in the PDP circle, there will also, because the same caliphate controls the two-party platforms, whether we want to tell ourselves the truth or not. And so I will not be surprised. This one is in the public space. I will not be surprised if there's a similar thing in PDP to say, assure us that you will not touch the constitution when you get there. Whereas the people being represented by these candidates are only after one thing now. The East, the West, the Middle Belt, everybody wants that constitution out of their lives. So why is it now a condition for the candidates that will go to election? Can we now see that election is a make or mass, is a rendezvous for determining what will happen to this union of Nigeria? If we are stupid enough, like we said in a previous video, if those who are choking, those who have been rendered slaves under the constitution imposed by the caliphate, by the Fulani, if the rest of Nigeria will be stupid enough, will be reckless enough to go with them to election, you are being told by that condition, you are being told that we can give you power, but your sovereignty will remain detained. That's what the election of 2023 will represent if we go with them. Whereas our own salvation is in not going with them. Our own salvation is in saying to them, this constitution, whoever wins election will have to swear to govern by, to defend and govern by that constitution. Therefore, we will remain the slaves we are under that constitution. And so we are not going to any election. The salvation of the rest of Nigeria from the killings that are happening to them, from the mass expropriation that has happened to them, in which the federal government own all the federal government that is owned by the Fulani now own all their assets, in which their populace are being impoverished just by sheer, expropriation of all of what represents economic assets. We already know them: the ports, the oil and gas, the bitumen, and all the solid minerals in between. Even the power to refine, petroleum products have all been confiscated, because I can buy petrol, I can buy crude oil and refine, but the Constitution of Nigeria says it is only the federal government that has exclusive right to do that. I can organize my security. It's only that Constitution that says I cannot touch gun. So how am I going to organize security against invaders, Fulani invaders that are killing all around the place? So, and we now come to what do we do with the situation in which those who are going to election are now more or less going to trade away our freedom, our sovereignty, our self-determination, because they want power they will hold for 4 years. And then the Constitution is preserved, the union of death is preserved. A few people who are coronated will make a few billions. We saw Obasanjo was president for 8 years. What did he change for the Yoruba? Are they not on the streets now crying? Jonathan was president for 6 years. What did he change? And we hear all kinds of stories about how he's the one that they will have to put in forward. We have defeated this constitution. We have defeated the caliphate that imposed it. And they're looking for how to get to election and how to control the day after the election. We know that their calculations around how Jonathan will suddenly become their candidate revolves around the goodwill that Jonathan has that may help them secure the journey to the election, which is already suffering. And more importantly, that if Jonathan is the one that becomes their candidate and the winner of election, he is done 4 years before, so he will only do 4 years. And of course, since they have secured a prior commitment that constitution will not be touched, they will retain they will get their strategic, they will achieve their strategic objective of preserving that constitution and the union of master and servant it imposes on the rest of us. Of course, those who become ministers and all kinds of things that the government share from Abuja will make some money, but that's where it ends. So our sovereignty, our freedom is now to be traded for our, for the power that a few will, hold for. If that's what's at issue. And so we needed to inform our people the meaning of that condition that was attached. The caliphate is now they're in a chokehold. The constitution is in a pinfall, and the only way they can maneuver is to drag us to election, so that they have made up their mind to, just let these people have power for a few years, 4 years, but at the expense of our sovereignty that is detained in that constitution that will stay. Peter Obi that have been invited to Downing Street in London, that is what it is. It is to firm up that commitment that in case you become, I was talking about PDP that might have that condition will be across board. That nobody will touch that. Anybody who is telling you he's going to do restructuring if he becomes president, including Atiku. We've said it in a previous video. We engaged Abubakar Atiku or Atiku Abubakar in 2016. If you want to see what we discussed with him, get on YouTube, search the title, the video title, Nigeria at the Valley of Decision. You will see the 2016 video on AIT, where we went to report what transpired between us and what we thought was the statesman speaking at the time. But it turned out he was just another politician, because what we concluded was not done. And then it became basis of going to become candidate for PDP in the convention ahead of 2019. That was how Atiku became. He was now advertising himself as the one that will come and do restructuring, and everybody became articulated thinking he would do so. I inform you on behalf of NINAS that Atiku Abubakar's definition of restructuring begins and ends with the National Assembly. Not at all the restructuring we're talking about that will go to the foundation of whether we want to be in union or not. And so if you fall for that bogey that Atiku will do restructuring, you are just lying to yourself, because if you go to research what transpired and what he has done since that 2016 to now, has he lifted a finger in?
All right, we'll stop this video here. Our people have been punked for the past 60-something years. Stories upon stories. They tell us things that will never happen. The more we look, the less we see.